If you're looking for a light compact lens to match with your Sony a7C II, look no further. This is the Viltrox 28mm F4.5 full frame compact lens with autofocus. Look how small this lens is. It's so freaking slim, and I weighed it on the food scale, and this lens weighs about 60 grams, which is insane. You see there's a back cap on this, right? If I take it out, it's so freaking slim, man. Look at that profile right there. Holy crap. Holy crap. This thing is freaking small, man. It's freaking amazing what Viltrox is doing over there. The lens is a constant f4.5, so you cannot switch aperture. You cannot stop down your aperture. f4.5 is all you get. And I think this is why they can keep the lens so small and compact. The material is made out of aluminum alloy, and it doesn't have a lens cap. However, it does have this lever right here. The lens cap is closed, but then once you slide down, it opens up, and then you just push it back up, and then you close it. So this is a pretty neat feature to have in your lens. It's a fun little design feature, and it's great because it's one less thing to worry about, because most of the time I always end up misplacing my lens cap, and I stress to find out where it is. And did I say that this lens is full frame? You're getting a 28mm focal length, which is the focal range where street photographers generally like to operate in. On the back of the lens, you're going to see digital contacts, and you're going to see the USB-C port for firmware updates. And I was told by Viltrox that the front of the lens is waterproof. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's just talk about autofocusing. I thought it was quick and snappy. I was using spot autofocusing on my Sony a7C II. Whenever I point at something when I'm out shooting, it locks on, and it acquired the focus really quick. Now, when it comes to the eye tracking, I say it did a good job at nailing the iris in some of these sample shots of the wife right here. Overall, the autofocusing, I can't complain. You can almost get everything in focus. So I'm quite satisfied with the autofocusing system inside this tiny little lens, which is crazy, which is freaking crazy, man. So I had this lens for about a week and a half now. Again, I'm always looking around for a light setup to walk around with my Sony a7C II. Because the Sony a7C II is a full frame camera, it's kind of limited because, you know, full frame lenses are generally pretty big, and the closest thing I got to a good pairing with the Sony a7C II is a 7 Artisan 35mm f1.4 Mark III. That lens was really fun to walk around with, and I thought at the time it was relatively small and compact. But then this Viltrox lens came in and just changed my perspective. I walked around town with it, took lots of shots with it, and this lens is more discreet than the 7 Artisans, because it's just so freaking tiny, man. Now, I'm not a fan of the 28mm focal length, but I want to try to get better at it. I do like how some of these shots that I took are framed with this field of view. When it comes to image quality, I find that the center of the frame to be quite sharp, surprisingly. I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect the center sharpness to be this good for such a compact lens, you know, because again, it's small. I don't think there's enough glass in here to warrant such good image quality, but it did its job. Well, look at this on my Sony a7C II. Just look at that. Look at how small and thin that shit is. Holy crap. I've never seen a full frame lens this small before. I felt like I was limited because whenever I go and photograph the town, I'm always shooting stop down from anywhere from f5.6 to f11. And due to the fact that this lens is a fixed aperture, it can't go any higher in order to get more depth of field. It took me a couple of hours to get used to this idea of shooting everything at f4.5. But after a day or two, I got used to it. This lens does exhibit some vignetting though, but you can clear this up in post. The lens does have some decent bokeh when shot at minimum focusing distance, which is at 32 centimeters, which is not bad in my opinion. Now, and when it comes to chromatic aberration, I hardly found anything. If I did, it was because I was zooming in at 300%, and at that point, I'm just pixel peeping. When shooting backlight, you're going to get some interesting starbursts as well. I think this looks very interesting, so you can get some unique shots with this. Again, I am loving what Viltrox has been putting out lately, and Viltrox did it again with this lens, giving people what they really want, which is a small, compact, full-frame lens for the Sony E mount, which is affordable with autofocus, by the way. Now, this is something that I had trouble finding when looking for something to pair with my Sony a7C II. I've been recommended, the Sigma f2 lens, the 35mm f1.8, but I still find with those full frame lenses that it's going to still make the total package quite bulky. Not with this lens, not with this freaking lens. Like, this is incredible for me. I just really dig the lightweight of it, just the nimbleness of it. So yeah, I was walking around town with this lens and it was really discreet. When I had like something like the 50G Master on this lens, because when I go out and shoot, sometimes I just take the 50G Master because I don't have many lenses for the Sony E-mount. Big, it's bulky, it's front heavy for my Sony a7C II. It draws a lot of attention because of the size. But yeah, this lens, however, makes everything stealthy, and I really appreciate that. I can't wait to shoot more with this. I am going to try to get better at the 28mm focal length because I do shoot with my iPhone a lot. I just want to get better at composing with 28mm focal length, and I got one right here, so I'm gonna do that. I think this lens would be great as an everyday walk around lens where you can be creative and not take too seriously. And if you're okay with the vignetting, I think it's a solid performer. Guess how much this lens costs? Just guess. This lens is coming in at $99 US or 109 euros, and it would be released through a crowdfunding campaign, and during the campaign you can get a discount on that. So check out the link in the description for more details. And I would like to thank Viltrox for providing me with a copy to make this video possible. And if you find this video helpful, consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. And thanks so much.